And welcome back to the 990 podcast. I am Jay.
I'm Ray.
And as we have been doing the GOAT list, I think that anytime we do a GOAT list, it always comes best in pairs. So we thought we would follow up last episode with a Hawaii version of our GOAT list.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. So I want to put a couple of caveats on here. Obviously, there are many islands in the Hawaiian island chain. And I cannot speak for some of the other islands. It would not be fair, right?
Yes.
And I also, if I bring up anything from the Big Island, Ray's going to be like, what is that? So we will stick to Oahu.
Oahu.
Okay? So don't get mad at me, Kona people. You're number one in everything in my heart. But yeah, so let's just get this started. Okay, Goat Beach on Oahu.
Go Beach. I'm gonna have to say Waimea.
Waimea.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
Talk
yeah.
to me.
That was just one of the spots that the church boys would just pack the van up and head down there. Back in the day when it wasn't crowded.
Oh, I think that thing's been crowded since the beginning of time.
Yeah,
dude.
true. That's true.
That parking is horrendous.
It's horrendous. Yeah, but you know what? 2020.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Pandemic times.
Pandemic times. Once they started letting people out.
Yeah.
Joss and I would go there like I would say, bro, 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
Just because it was so open and it was just so serene to just have your own space and just enjoy it. Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice time.
There you go.
But Waimea, have you jumped off the rock before?
One time.
Yeah,
I was scared.
Same.
I almost didn't. I'm
Let's
scared
put
of
it that
heights,
way.
bro. I'm scared. The only reason why I jumped was I think I was like
peer pressure.
I think I was like in my late 20s and had like 8-year-old kids being like, hey, hurry up. I'm like, bro, take it easy.
Uncle, hurry up, Uncle.
Like, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. I can't be punked out.
You have to do it at least once.
Yeah, I know.
If not, you're a punk almost.
Going back, we talking about conspiracy theories. Going back to the 2020 experience.
Okay. Yes.
Oh my god. In hindsight, right? Obviously, I think that we needed to get COVID under control. I never really understood the whole the outdoor situation when they just had everybody just indoors. And I know they kind of laxed on some things, but I just remember going to the beach and having a mask on, and I was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
It was wild, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could go back and see what happened just a few years back, it was wild times, bro.
It was nuts. Yeah, that year was crazy.
Were you wearing a mask to Waimea Bay?
No.
Oh, this guy living dangerously.
That's weird. I don't know if we went prior to I don't remember wearing masks, bro. Yeah. At least going out there.
Yeah. There you go.
Waimea. You got to jump the rock, and during December it gets nuts though.
Yeah.
December.
Where do you park? You ever park at the church?
No. We usually find parking. Yeah. If anything, I'll just let Josco or whoever we was with, and then just circle the parking lot, bro.
Until you get it.
Yeah. But Waimea's it's kind of goat for myself.
Good choice.
What about you?
Okay, so I think that one of the nicest beaches on Oahu is Lanikai.
Yeah.
Suffers very similar to unfortunately Waimea, where you talk about it is just inundated with tourists, right? So obviously in the beautiful town of Kailua, beautiful sand, nice and shallow. It is very calm waters, and truthfully, whoever lives out in Kailua is just so lucky that's your backyard. But I just feel so bad for you that you are just swarmed with tourists. I don't know.
It's tough.
I don't know when tourists started finding this beach. I know it's always been crowded, but I remember when I first moved here in like 2002, we would go and it wouldn't be nearly as crowded. Now you just drive by and you can't find parking, and it is just almost like mini Waikiki down there. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So Lanikai definitely would be one of my answers, but actually Waimanalo Bay is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Sherwoods and Waimanalo Bay.
I love Sherwoods, man.
It's a hidden gem.
Hidden gem. That's
what's really funny, and I don't want to get beat up here, but unfortunately, I think sometimes when people hear the word Waimanalo, they just think it's kind of a rough area and it's like synonymous with just whatever, right? But it's so beautiful out there, man. One of my really, really good homies is lives out there. And yeah, I'm so jealous that he gets to just walk across the street and that's there.
Yeah.
But it is such a awesome beach, and I think that again, just go past whatever stereotypes and preconceived notions you have, make that drive and go to the beach. But it's probably the best on the island, in my opinion.
I was like, oh, maybe Jane shouldn't have said that. No, people do get stabbed out there,
I know,
and
right? We have such a wide reach on this podcast. I don't want to be influencing all the thousands of people that are going to be going out there now. Two people are going to be like, hey, thanks for the tip.
Sherwood's definitely go to yeah.
You go.
I love Sherwood's. What's next, bro?
Next one we got local celebrity.
Oh, local celebrity.
Yeah, man. That could be.
For initially,
okay.
I'll start off with Frank DeLima.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Comedian, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just remember watching VHSs of him and his skits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my first what do you call? First what's that word when you're exposed? You're exposed to comedy. Comedy. Yeah.
There you go.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know they do skits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Frank DeLima would just do a bunch of different characters. Yeah.
Songs. He had the songs.
Yeah.
Did he come to your school?
He did.
He did, right?
He went to everyone's school.
That was a busy guy, man. Yeah,
was a busy guy.
I remember on the Big Island. He came to our school too. I'm like,
imagine if he was popular during social media time.
Yeah, man. Well, okay. So what's
your
take on just Hawaii comedy in the times of social media?
In the times, like,
yeah, is that your brand of comedy personally?
It's tough because everyone has their style, I guess. I don't know, man. I gotta think about that.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your initial?
Let's see. Okay, so Raplinger is.
Yes. I haven't seen any of his stuff.
Okay, Raps Hawaii. Raps Hawaii, in my opinion, is the quintessential. It is the pinnacle when you talk about Hawaii comedy. And this was back in, I want to say, early 80s when it came out. Okay, so he unfortunately passed, but Raplinger was way before his time. I think that, and again, I'm going to get so much hate for saying this, but when I think about just Hawaii comedy currently, there's some really funny stuff, but there's also some really cringeworthy stuff. And I think, unfortunately, what ends up happening is, and this, I say Hawaii comedy, but this is just, I think anytime you have an area that's kind of encapsulated the way that we are, we have our own brand of comedy, right?
Yeah.
Things that no one else would understand is funny to us because we grew up with it. And it's completely, we've been surrounded with it our entire lives. And there's definitely merit to that. But I oftentimes feel like the funniest people can kind of go beyond that to something a little bit more universal, right?
Gotcha.
And I think there's kind of an overuse of some of the themes when it comes to just some of the stereotypes that are associated with Hawaii comedy, personally speaking. But when I think about raps, Raplinger, he did Hawaii comedy, but he did it in a way that was really, if you could not even be from Hawaii and you would just find it hilarious because it was slapstick. He did of course the pigeon accent. He did a lot of local based jokes, but I think if you were to just put it up against just comedy specials, skit comedies, they were really funny. Like to this day, I crack up, and it has nothing to do with just being Hawaii. It just, his characters were so rich and hilarious. So when I think of like that, that would probably be my number one guy just right off the bat. But then you can't discount Bruno Mars, dude. Like, hello, biggest celebrity that's ever come out of Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
I think people don't really associate him with Hawaii anymore, other than Hawaii people, right? Because I think if you ask anybody from the mainland or anywhere in the world, like, where's Bruno Mars from? Most people would probably think that he's from California, maybe. Because he's been out there for so long.
Yeah, because it's weird now that we're talking about it. It's like, I don't know if, of course he came out of Hawaii, but I don't know if he was like, I think there's a disconnect for myself, and that's why a lot of people don't consider,
It's funny, right? So you have this juxtaposition where you have like The Rock and Jason Momoa that claim Hawaii, that lived in Hawaii, have a lot of deep roots to Hawaii, but weren't born here. Right?
I don't see that. That's why.
But then the opposite is where Bruno Mars was actually born and raised here, but has just spent so much time and has become such a global superstar that people don't associate him with Hawaii. Interesting.
It's close to that perception of The Rock and what's his name? Momoa.
Yeah.
Where I don't see Bruno Mars. I don't know. Maybe it's because he wasn't so big when he left Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's why my mind is thinking that. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know if my mind is considering him as like the Hawaii celebrity.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking who's. I think this is it. I'm thinking who's popular in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's one of my mind.
Anyone else then, other than Frank Delano? Come on. Is
there?
Yeah, man.
Name some people, bro.
Max Holloway.
Oh, shoot.
Come on, son.
Bro.
Blessed
Hey,
Express.
I'm sorry, Max. Hey, Blessed Express. Sorry, bro. he's.
Yeah. There you go. I mean,
Max is for sure the top one. Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, obviously huge BJ Penn fan and just love what he did for the UFC. But when I just think about like now, who's current, but also not just current, like just somebody that just represents Hawaii to the fullest, but is just such a good role model for, the people of Hawaii. Max Holloway.
easily Max.
I think he's probably the most liked fighter in the roster.
Yeah,
and that's across the board. I mean, you talk to him, but he doesn't have any enemies.
Yeah,
that's so crazy to think about that he doesn't have any enemies. Even the guys that he fights, like there is never any bad blood.
Yeah,
like it's just a job to them, and people just respect the fact that he's so humble.
Yeah,
that he's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah,
and just seems like a stand-up dude.
100%.
Yeah, man, that's my pick for local celebrity.
Yes, 100%. I watched his interview with Joe recently.
Yeah.
And there's one portion where they're talking about how Gaethje, what do you call it, knocked him out in like one of the rounds. Not knocked him out, but
he knocked him down.
He knocked him down.
He knocked him down. Yeah.
And Max was saying like the judges didn't score that as a knockdown.
Yeah.
And he was like, I would totally score that as a knockdown. Yeah. I mean, I'm not. He's humble enough to say that.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of guy, like,
yeah, man,
he's just super likable.
Good representation.
Yeah, solid pick. What we got next, bro?
All right, this one's gonna be debatable and probably very controversial. Best goat plate lunch.
Oh, man, plate lunch. It's tough because you can only judge from the places you've been at, right? For myself, I haven't been to too many.
Okay.
But in my childhood and my experience, I guess, the GOAT would be mini meatballs from Mickey's.
Oh, from Mickey's? Okay.
Mickey's, yeah.
So Mickey's, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking place first of all. So Mickey's would be, you think, at the best?
Oh, you think of a place? Oh, shoot. I'm just gonna name places: Mitsuken, Case Bento.
Oh,
yeah. Case Bento.
Okay.
Out in Waipahu, that's a staple for sure for Waipahu people. Mitsuken, yeah. Case Bento, Mickey's. Those are like the three that pop up. Yeah. Plate lunches.
I was going. Okay.
What are you thinking?
Man, for me, I'm just going based off of my personal favorite, and I gotta go with Rainbows.
Hell yeah.
Rainbows on Kapalulu.
That's a pick, man.
I know they got a couple of other locations, if I'm not mistaken. I saw one in Pro Ridge. Yeah. But the original location, that place, man, I love it. It's my favorite. Just the whole vibe. I love that it's just got the old aesthetic.
Yeah.
Just the neon lights. You got just people standing in line. And what's really dope is that, you talk about just a mix of local people and tourists.
Yeah.
There are people there. I'm like, how'd you find this place? But they know about it. They read these reviews and they're trying different foods, and yeah, man, it's awesome.
Ooh, that sounded good right now, man.
Yeah.
Rainbow.
So wait, so you said Mickey's mini meatballs. That would be your pick as far as plate lunch?
Just because again, it goes back to your childhood, right? Yeah. Bro, back in the day, it was $3.50. They put out a container of not stewed, but pickled onions.
Okay.
You just grab as much as you want to put on top.
Nice.
It was a vibe, man.
Yeah.
They opened they opened late. They opened 11, I think. And so only like, as a younger, kid out of high school or in high school, the boys just hang out at the church frequently, and at night we just stay there the whole time.
Right.
We're like, hey, let's stop by Mickey's, bring it back to church, and then we'd stay there for like a couple more hours just hanging out. So there's definitely a connection or a intimate connection there.
It's a good choice.
Intimate.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Nice.
What we got next?
Next up, long drive.
So when I'm thinking about Hawaii,
when I'm thinking long drive, okay, so this is kind of funny, right? I'm not talking about traffic. I'm talking about if you were to just if we
hold on.
if we just took traffic off the board here, and I'm like, I'm just taking a nice drive. I'm gonna put on music. I'm gonna listen to my favorite podcast. What's your favorite stretch?
Shoot. So we used to live in Cunha.
Okay.
Back roads.
Okay.
It goes all the way up to Wahiwa.
Got it.
Go towards, and then you make a left and then go towards like North Shore area. That was my drive. But that back stretch from Cunha to Wahiwa, it's just fields.
Cane fields?
Any kind of fields.
Yeah,
I think they have pineapple there.
Okay.
But it's just a long two-way road.
Got it.
Yeah. Anytime I'd come back from a trip, I'd take the Golf because it was a stick shift.
Yeah.
And if I had time, I'll drive that at night.
Oh.
Yeah, it has to be nighttime, bro.
Really?
Yeah. It's just like peaceful.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's peaceful.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Might be dangerous sometimes because some guys get some donkeys that like do crazy stuff out there. But
for sure.
I haven't encountered, but I know there's been accidents there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice drive out there, bro.
All the way out to the North Shore, huh? Where do you stop though?
Well, normally if I want to just take a drive, because when I'm out on the trip, I haven't driven for a while.
Right.
I love driving.
Yep.
Stick shift. It's just fun. So when I come back from a trip, I'm like, I gotta drive.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll stop at Wahiwa.
Okay.
So from Cunha to Wahiwa, it probably takes about maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Maybe one way. Yeah. So around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a nice drive. It's a nice drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
When I first moved to Oahu, I got laid off pretty quickly from my job, and then I was kind of searching for work, and I came across the most random. It was an incredible job working with an incredible family. Did not pay very well, unfortunately. What I got paid in was pretty hilarious, and it was with Enjoy. So so Kakimochi King.
Yeah.
You know, all the Kakimochi stuff, all the crack seat stuff. You see it everywhere. Enjoy, right?
Yeah.
Such a good family. I got a job with them doing sales, and it was a very short-lived position. I want to say I only stayed there for about a year.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, I needed a little bit more. It was quite significantly less than I was making prior. But what I loved the most about the job was driving. So it was
interesting.
dope. They let me use this company truck, and I basically had a gas card, and I could just go. I had a route, and my route was actually the east side.
Okay.
So when I moved here, I didn't really know too much other than just Honolulu and Waikiki.
Yeah.
So I didn't venture out anywhere other than those areas. So when I got this job, they were like, "No, you got to go Kaneohe, Kailua, Waimanalo, all of these places." So
sick.
I had this route that I would take where the office was in Kalihi. I would get get the orders in, and jump in my truck, and then from Kalihi, jump on the freeway, and I would just drive all the way out to Hawaii Kai.
Yeah.
And basically from there, I would just service all of these spots in that area, kind of near the marina and whatnot. And then from Hawaii Kai, would go along the coastline through Waimanalo, stop off in Waimanalo.
Yeah.
And I would end up in Kailua and then, Kaneohe, Enchanted Lakes area. But that stretch is, in my opinion, the best drive. And again, minus traffic, there are days where it's treacherous, but just in general, if you have music going, it's such a relaxing drive. I highly recommend that.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. Yeah.
But man, shout out to those guys. I really hope the family's doing well. And the company is just such a great company. Awesome snacks too.
That's sick. That's cool.
All right, next. This one's interesting. Historical landmark. GOAT historical landmark.
Shoot. What's an example?
Okay, so you want mine would be Iolani Palace.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Iolani Palace is a really interesting one. It was created by King Kalakaua. and it was a place that basically was the home of the Hawaii monarchy. So all the royals lived there, right? And I want to say it was Queen Liliuokalani that she was the last resident, and when she got overthrown, and when the monarchy was overthrown, excuse me. And it's just so much history there, man. I don't know if you've ever been to the palace before. So kind of funny. We actually just did a haunted tour of downtown Honolulu, and then the palace grounds was one of the stops on the tour.
Yeah.
And we just did this a couple months ago. But I mean, it's just that area. It's so crazy to think about how much history is just on these islands. Yeah, but that area in particular. I mean, you know, there's so much modern things going on in downtown Honolulu, but to have a palace just in the middle of it, and just you know, I'm glad that it's just been preserved. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Kind of cracked up when they were using that as the headquarters for Hawaii 5-0, right? I was like, okay, guys,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. But anyway, when I think about like historical landmarks, that's probably the one. That one, and maybe Aloha Tower would be another one that I could think
first.
of.
Yeah. There's that one, and then I don't know if the Duke statue would be
man,
a landmark. I feel like that one's that one's kind of a given.
For sure.
Yeah.
I know. There's. I remember one time there was like this picture of this donkey that was on top of the statue. I was like, dude, this guy's gonna get cracks.
Yeah.
As soon as that guy came down, I'm sure he got cracks.
Yeah.
Beach Boys, but Hawaii Justice.
Hawaii Justice.
But no, that's a good one. That's a good one.
So that would be the top thing when I think about
it's funny, right? Because when you think about Dukes, you're like, that's just a landmark, you know. Like I remember working in Waikiki, people would be like, "Oh, where's this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's near the Duke statue."
The Duke statue,
and it's the one landmark. Everybody's like, "Oh, okay." It's like literally in the center of Waikiki.
Yeah,
and you know, like if you can find that, you'll be able to find wherever we're talking about. Right?
Yes,
you get lost, go to the Duke statue, and you'll find your way.
Yeah,
police station's right next door.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, oh, I got beat up. You're like, oh, just go to the Duke statue.
Go do.
Cops are right there.
Yeah. The one, Iolani Palace would probably be the top one that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Poly Highway.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'm thinking about the particular tunnel where Pele apparently comes.
Oh, really?
Is that a so
urban legend?
There's a legend where urban legend where if you pass the Poly, I think after a certain tunnel and you have pork with you or something like that, you're supposed to throw it out or something like that and not have it with you. There's been stories about people getting stopped and this old lady in a white dress asking for a ride, and then you look back, they're not there, or you pick them up and then stuff like that.
Chicken skin.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is that exact same urban legend is on the Big Island too, but it's like this area on the way to Hilo. Horseshoes. Basically, it's the natural grooves of the valley.
Okay.
Same thing, but they say like that certain times of night, you'll see this lady in white. So that's funny that kind of just transcends the different islands. There's a very similar urban legend there.
I enjoyed Hawaii what do you call ghost stories.
Glenn Grant,
Obaki Files. I love those books.
Good, man.
They were I always wanted to do, actually I think we did one of his tours when he was still here, or alive I should say.
This is totally, I know we were going historic. Where do you think is the most haunted place?
Let's talk about there's a house in Kalihi where I've heard a ton of stories of like people commenting on like, oh yeah, like they've experienced things in this, like demonic forces in this one Kalihi house. Really? It was like a corner spot.
Is it still there?
Yeah, I believe it's boarded up.
Oh, snap.
But because there's so many things that happen there, that they just was like, nah, fam.
Well, so there's a house in Kaimuki, same thing.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Kaimuki, 7th Ave or something, right?
That might be it. Yeah,
that's
I'm sorry. Kaimuki.
That's the one. Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, they bulldozed it. It's gone.
Yeah, okay.
But I think they might have built something up. I'm like, dude, what?
McDonald's?
No.
Can I get one haunted cheeseburger?
I know, right? I've always been fascinated by, so my wife, she will be the first one to tell you like, oh, she's really into that kind of stuff. And she'll be like, oh, yeah, I would love the house was haunted. I'm like, speak for yourself, sister. No way. No way. But I always like trip out when you hear about either paranormal activity or if something heinous happened at a property, and then people know about that and they still willingly buy it. You're like, what is going on in your brain? To be like, okay, let's try it out. You know what I mean? Like, that's wild. You know,
that's insane.
I don't care how much of a discount. If I heard somebody got murked on property, I ain't buying that house, bro. I'm sorry, man. Like, you know, like that ain't for me. I ain't trying to play with that.
Well, guys, welcome to the Haunted Podcast. This is what we're really talking about.
Yeah.
Real quick, what is one of the scariest spots that you've?
I heard that there is Kahala Mall, the downstairs bathroom. I heard that hallway.
Oh, really?
I heard there's a lot of activity down there.
Interesting.
And have you ever been to the restrooms in Kahala Mall?
Kahala? Near the theaters?
It's a dive where you go downstairs and it's a long corridor.
Is it near the theaters area?
Yeah, kind of. It's more towards the center. You go downstairs and then it's a long corridor and you go into the bathroom and it's just this unnecessarily long hallway. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
Well, why? You know,
never been.
I don't know. Can we just have a regular restroom, guys?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I heard that one is really scary. And I was like, yeah, no thanks.
No thanks.
I'll just hold it.
There's one, Strub Clinic.
Yep.
There's a particular room there. Hey, shouts out to all my nurses if you know about this area.
I'm sure they do.
They sure do. It's the kid with the red ball.
What?
Multiple
That just sounds sinister.
Multiple people would accounts of people saying I hear some bouncing or something.
No way.
Yeah, and it's or hey, have you seen that kid with the red ball or something like that? Yeah, Joss even told me like.
Did she see anything?
Some of her friends, one of her friends. Yeah. But hey man, we got to do a Hawaii Obake episode.
Yeah. No, this
is fun.
Yeah, I think so.
Going back to
moving on to the next boring topic. All right, this one's kind of funny. Place to relax.
Ooh, place to relax. I'll start off by saying like any place that's quiet and are like absent of tourists is always nice.
Yeah. I mean, good luck with that.
I know, right? I was just thinking the other day, bro, like, man, even traffic itself is evidence of like how many people are on here now.
It's nuts.
It wasn't that bad. Like
Hawaii's the infrastructure of Hawaii is not built for this many people.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah, and a rail's not gonna help.
Have you gone yet?
No.
We're like going on all these tangents. I don't care.
I don't care. The rail, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how they didn't see it coming. It's so stupid. I don't understand.
I have a couple of friends like that have been on it and they really like it. Shout out to my friend Erin. She loves it. And I'm like, that's dope. I wish more people would have that mentality.
So you're telling me
but yeah.
Did they drive out to the parking lot? Walk to the station?
I'm assuming so.
Go to the other place.
Yeah.
And then, bro, like there's
too much drive. I'd rather just be in my car. At that
exactly.
point, personally speaking.
Yeah. And I didn't read a report, but there were talks of saying like it's nowhere near the usage percentage that they were.
No. Yeah. I think all the videos I've seen, it is minimal usage.
It's empty. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know where they're gonna end it. I know they're building all that stuff near Ala Moana right now. I know the original vision was to go to Manoa, but I don't think that's happening.
Where are they gonna do it?
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure where the end of the line is, so to speak. But
yeah.
That was money well spent, right?
Bro, I'm gonna close that tangent.
Yeah, right.
I'd say the most recent one, bro, was Waimea. During that time.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just nice and relaxing.
That was a vibe.
That was a good time. Yeah. So not so much the place, more of the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah. What about you?
So place to relax. I used to live in Pololo.
Oh.
So Pololo Valley. Pololo Valley is, and Manoa Valley is actually really similar. I would say almost any valley.
Yeah.
It's the weather, number one, right? It rains. There's a lot of rain. It's a little, cloudy. It's just lush because of so much, because of so much rain. It's just there's a lot of greenery. But Kaha and I actually used to live all the way back of Pololo Valley, and it was just the funnest house, man. And the house itself was fun. We had dope neighbors. It was fun environment, but more so than anything else, it was just relaxing. And it reminded me of back home. Like, it reminded me of living on an outer island.
Yeah.
And we were literally 10 minutes from Honolulu, right?
Nah,
We were
that's cool.
still in the city, but you got to drive through the valley.
Yeah.
You know, and it was one of those things where as soon as you kind of got out of that hustle and bustle and you started entering the valley, it was just quiet, man.
Yeah.
Loved it, dude. It was
That's
so
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Close second for me, and this is a weird answer, but I can defend it. Punch Bowl Cemetery, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Have you been up there before?
I'm trying to think where this is at.
Punch Bowl Cemetery is it's actually right above Ward Avenue. It's like if you keep going, Poa Valley and whatnot, it's around there where you just kind of keep going up into the mountain, and Punch Bowl is right up top.
Is this the one where it's almost like a
military.
huge round
Yeah,
number?
yeah. It's the military cemetery.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I've been there. I didn't go the whole thing, but I've seen. I was like, oh, what is this cemetery? Yeah.
It's so my grandfather and my grandmother are up there.
Oh, wow.
That's their final resting place, and you know, so obviously, you know, connected through that, but it's just something about it. It's so well landscaped, manicured, and kept up. You know, obviously federal, right? But you know, like they just do such a good job of just keeping it, you know, just beautifully curated. And for me, I've actually gone up there by myself a few times, and you know, I'll bring flowers up to my grandparents, and people get kind of spooked out and creeped out when it comes to cemeteries, but for whatever reason, that's not one of them. Like, I'm not ever scared up there.
Interesting.
Or I don't ever feel weird. Like, obviously, you know, like, you know, if you believe in, you know, spirits and whatnot, you know, there's thousands of them up there, but at the same time, it's very serene.
Interesting.
And I've gone up there multiple times, and I just kind of like will bring flowers to my grandparents, and then like just kind of hang out. And I don't know, I just relax, man. It's just relaxing for me. Strange. I know it's a weird answer, but yeah, that's probably one of the calmest places on the island for me.
Interesting. Were your grandparents?
My grandfather.
Pretty chill?
Yeah. Or I was just say military. Yeah, he was military, but yes, chill. Yes, the chillest. So you know, I think I spoke about my grandfather, and I'm really sad that I didn't get to know him before he got sick. From what I understand, he was just an awesome dude.
Yeah.
You know, like life of the party type guy, where he just wanted to make sure everybody was having a good time. You know, just very generous. Really kind. And my grandmother was just the same, where you know, after he passed, we didn't even have to worry about her because she was just such a strong, independent person. So you know, really lucky to have, you know, to have had that growing up. But yeah, man, as far as, you know, places for them to be laid to rest, I couldn't think of a better place than
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When you're talking about your grandpa and your grandma, the first thing I thought of was like, that's what I think of when I think of like essence of Hawaii people. It's like just local families, like caring,
welcoming,
welcoming,
generous. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if there's a lot of them.
Yep.
It just doesn't seem as out there anymore.
It's not as prevalent. You know what's sad, and I think we can speak on this. It's. I think that people are just kind of a reflection of the times, right? So I think that Hawaii people in general are just some of the kindest and most welcoming people. And of course, I'm heavily biased because we're from here, but just growing up and experiencing that, you know, our entire lives, you know, we're really fortunate. And then you kind of just see how jaded and hardened people have become over the years, and you just kind of look at not just obstacles and challenges, but just, you know, a lot of things that they've had to face as just people, but also, you know, just again, just the influx of, you know, it's hard. We're in this society that we've built where, you know, we're dependent and everything is contingent upon tourism, right? But along with that just comes with a whole different batch of problems, and not just when it comes to resources, but also just attitudes. You know, I think there are some people that come here with just the right intentions, and there are just a whole bunch of people that don't.
The ratio's bad.
And I think unfortunately, just years and years and generations of that, it wears on people, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, we're not your host. This is our home, you know? And I think that sentiment in general, you can kind of see it on people's faces, and I don't blame them. I get it. I totally get it, you know?
Yeah.
But just at its core, Hawaii people are the best, man.
Yeah.
Really, really
100%.
just phenomenal.
Yeah. I always say, like, if we were to raise a kid, I wouldn't want
a better place.
I couldn't think of a better place, man.
Agreed.
Hawaii. In terms, when we were growing up, that's like the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Pigeon word. Goat pigeon word.
I don't know.
You speak a lot of pigeon?
I can.
You can.
I can.
Turn it
Depends
on
on
and
who.
off.
Yeah. It depends on who it is, but
When you with the boys.
Yeah, with the boys.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Bruh.
You
That
know what?
might be the most
Hey,
used.
man. I think okay, so
I side note, I kind of cringe when people from the mainland say "brah." Like,
bruh.
like
Brah.
at some point it became a thing to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if they knew it was from Hawaii or the way that we know it as.
Yeah.
But I kind of like, oh, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of synonymous with like how everybody shakas now, yeah? And you're like,
Yeah,
oh, you
like,
didn't know where
what?
they came from? Right?
Yeah. You can. Do you turn it on? Can you turn it on?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think I've ever heard you talk pigeon, Joe.
It depends on who I'm with. So like one of my good friends, Cody. You know Brother Codes, right?
Yeah.
If there was one dream guest on this podcast, it would be Brother Codes. He would never. The guy is a ghost. He lives off grid, and he would be like the guy tucking pigeon in the corner, and he won't want to be on camera because that's just how he is. But he would be the best guest.
Oh, he would be the best.
I forgot that you know Cody. Like
The best memory of Cody. I don't want to spend time.
Yeah.
Was during your wedding.
Yeah.
He mispronounced.
No, Ka's wedding, not my wedding.
No, I'm sorry. Ka's wedding.
Yeah.
What did he do? He mispronounced something, or he?
No,
he did something.
He had the same transcript from our wedding. He officiated Tristan and my wedding. He had the transcript and it had our names on there. And then rather than writing a new one, he just crossed out the names and put Kaha and Eileen's names in there, and then
instead
did
of
not
Kaha?
cross out my name, and he called Kaha J, which was the funniest thing ever. Because it's easy mistake, right? And then you realize what he did, and you're like, "Bro, come on,
bro, that was hilarious,
and that's
hilarious."
But when I'm with him, it comes out, and he can't help it.
Can't help it, bro.
I think just because it's just it is literally his first language.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, bra's a good one. Okay, so if I had to think of if I had to equate bra to anything, if it was like skateboarding, bra is like the ollie. Everything stems from the ollie, right? Every trick is derivative from the ollie.
Sure.
Bra is to me the one word where you're like, that is literally the introduction to pigeon.
Yeah, it is.
And
it
then,
is.
And it can mean so many different things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the kind, I think is a pretty well known one.
Yep.
And the kind is one of those catch alls that it just means everything, right?
Yeah. It's like that thing. Yeah, the kind. Yeah,
the kind. And then of course my favorite, how's it? How's it is my favorite. Because it's like one of those where it's pigeon, but you can kind of use it in any context, and it just has become part of.
How's it is a big one.
It's just part of the vernacular at this point, right? Like whenever anybody's like, if I see anybody's like, hey, how's it?
Yeah. It's friendly. It's
exactly.
Yeah. It's open.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now that I'm talking about it, I always say solid.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Oh, like yeah. Oh, solid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Solid. We were talking about like old school pigeon words. Top shape was a top shape. That's like 80s, 90s.
Really?
Top shape. Yeah.
It's like
how's your truck, bro? Cherry, yeah. It's top shape.
Top shape. Is
Yeah.
that like within the Hamajang days?
Hamajang days. Yeah. It was Hamajang days.
Have you ever picked up a copy of Pigeons to the Max?
No.
Did you know about that?
Yeah.
Oh, the best.
Yeah. The best.
The best. If you have a friend that is moving to Hawaii that is not from Hawaii,
Yeah.
you got to get him that book. That's I think that's probably the best gift. And is the ultimate coffee table read,
bro,
because it is so good.
It's good, yeah.
And not only is it hilarious, the illustrations are just so perfect.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
it's super funny.
I already
right?
know what kind of drawings. I know. Yeah.
So okay, so let me ask you this, and then this is kind of a little bit of a side thing here, but
Yeah.
how are you able to so easily turn it on and off? People ask me that all the time because I often get like when people find out that I'm from Kailua Kona on the Big Island,
Yeah.
they're like, "What?
Yeah.
Like you don't sound like even from Hawaii."
Yeah.
Like, and then I think probably people might say the same to you, correct?
Yeah.
And how is it because of you consciously not trying to speak Pidgin, or is it because you don't speak Pidgin at work, or like what do you think it is?
So, clear answer is that it's going back to communication, bro.
Yeah.
If I know this person will understand
Yeah.
this particular language better, I'm using that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's mainly for straight communication.
Fair
Yeah.
Fair enough. Gotcha.
So that's why when I'm around like local guys,
Yep.
like I'll just turn them on. Like
Yeah.
just because they understand way more. In fact, I feel like they would understand a lot more, more effective versus
Gotcha.
regular mainland,
Gotcha.
mainland kind of stuff. I was gonna say something else.
You know what's funny about like just the way that local people talk is
Yeah.
we do a lot of ad libs. You hear about all these ad libs in rap songs where people's like, yep.
Yeah.
But like that's just Pidgin, right? Like you just have
It
this
is.
affirmation where people
Yeah.
are talking like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
shoot, yeah, nah, oh, nah. And it's like you have to add to the conversation. It's just part of it, right? It's part of
It's almost like because you want to know you want them to know you're listening.
Yes. And then I the one thing that I've always picked up on that everybody calls out is how we end every sentence with yeah. It's always an end no matter even if it's a statement, it ends in a question mark, right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, exactly.
Oh nah is another one. Oh nah. Like,
That's a good one.
Nah. Yeah. That's another one. So funny because going back to the Pigeon to the Max, bro, my friend, genius idea. That was his Halloween costume.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just had a flip up, but Pigeon to the Max.
Mean.
Yeah, I was like, yo, that's solid.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah. Halloween
like it, I like
costume.
it.
All right.
All right. Goat local establishment.
Ooh, local establishment. What's yours?
Okay.
I gotta think of mine.
This one's gonna be weird because I currently work there. But Ala Moana Center,
Yeah.
in my opinion, is a GOAT local establishment. And I think most people think mom and pops, but when I think of Ala Moana, I don't know if it still holds this record, but it was at one point the largest outdoor mall in the United States.
I do remember that. Yeah.
It's a huge mall.
Yep.
And it's an old mall. Like it is such an old mall that is literally falling apart at its seams in certain areas. And I know, man, I've been through all the tunnels. But yeah, man, it's an establishment. I think I feel more akin to. I mean, obviously, I have a much different opinion being there for so many hours of my life.
Yeah.
But growing up, Ala Moana was just like the one place that Marcy and I, growing up on the Big Island, we always wanted to go to because there was. The shopping was unparalleled. Like we didn't have anything like that.
I'm sure. Even now, right? What you guys get?
I mean, there's more now, but like nothing like that.
Yeah.
Not a collection of stores where you're like, no matter what, you can find whatever you want there, right? And I mean, again, growing up where I was just so concerned about my fits. Only so much you can do at locomotion. So obviously Ala Moana was the place. So I think having that growing up, it really held a big place in my heart. And then now that I'm there every day, I don't hate the mall. I don't shop there.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like I don't even walk around. I just go do my thing and then I'm out. So some people are like, "Oh, did you know this open there?" I'm like, "Word!" Like I didn't even know. I'm only on this area, But yeah, man, it is a local establishment, Ala Moana Center.
It's kind of sad that malls are closing. And the joy with going to the mall and finding something you really like, is gone now because of online shopping.
Yeah, for sure.
It sucks. Like,
did you buy that online or did you go to the store?
This online, bro.
See,
online.
Yeah. So much more convenient.
It's convenient. It's. I've seen. I follow those abandoned like things.
Oh.
There's a bunch of malls.
Yeah, in the like Midwest and
Like,
whatnot.
yeah, Midwest, mostly
Kinda
Midwest. Yeah.
crazy, man.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
it's just
like-
like huge monoliths, and you're like,
Yeah.
it looks like the apocalypse happened.
Yeah, it's like who invested in this and why? Did
Yeah.
you know? Like, did you know this
Well,
bad?
no,
investment?
but you know, like that's what I mean, right? So what's even sadder is if you go to these places that like haven't fully closed, but just have all these vacancies, and you're like, oh, dude, this is sad.
Yeah.
Like at one point, this was like a thriving,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah, yeah.
the thriving area, and now it's just like, whoa.
The
dude,
thought
what
of
happened?
the thought of it being a thriving place and people living there, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Crazy.
and lively, and it being I think of the gymnasiums like with the schools and stuff. It's kind of sad.
Is it the Vice series on YouTube?
One of them,
that's the one where they go through. It's I forget what
Multiple
skater.
ones.
He goes and skates in the abandoned malls.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he has this genuine fascination to go and photograph and then go and skate in all these empty malls. But it's just like these ghost towns almost, where you're like, wow,
It's
this was such a
eerie.
thriving area,
Yeah.
and now it's just completely vacant.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So wait, do you have one?
Not a local establishment.
Yeah.
It's so funny. In my head, I was joking around saying, "Oh, DMV."
Which one? Which one? Which one?
It's kind of, I mean, jokingly,
Yeah.
the Pro Ridge one is probably the easiest.
probably
They
the
streamlined
easiest.
it, bro. So like, they made it simpler where it's like, are you going to this or are you going to that? Versus you have to wait and then have to. Yeah. It's getting easier.
It is.
But then even for like registering your vehicle, you can do it at the kiosks now.
Yep.
Yeah, at like Foodland. So
there you
it's
go.
thank you guys. In terms of like local establishments, I don't know like any of them that are like standing out right now.
Zippies.
Oh yeah. Zippies would be. They've been there forever, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, crazy how they finally made it to Vegas, right? They opened that one up.
I
I
feel like they're like
guarantee-
years
I
late.
guarantee that thing is just turning and burning, though. You know how much
Oh,
local
yeah.
people must be eating over there?
Ninth Island, yeah.
Bruh,
Guarantee.
crazy,
Yeah,
crazy.
guarantee. Yeah.
All right. GOAT Hawaiian song.
If there's one, it's gotta be from Kyle Crater Boys.
Okay. Which one?
One of them.
You have a favorite? One of them.
Kyle Crater Boys is probably like top of the.
Okay.
I mean, it's like
OP, man.
and what's a good
Brown
one?
Eyed Girl.
Bro, Surf is probably
Surf,
is
yeah.
probably the top.
That was the first song.
Hawaiian. Let's clarify. Hawaiian mean like local.
Yeah.
I don't know Hawaiian
I'm trying to
songs,
think,
guys.
Like, I think that's the first and only song that I can kind of play on the ukulele.
Oh yeah. That's a good place to start if you want to learn.
Yes.
But
Good one.
there's another. It's not a Hawaiian song. It's a Hawaiian. It's a rendition of country song from Pure Heart.
Oh, which one?
I got my thing. Of course. Shucks.
That just sounded like The Weeknd. I think. No, you were just singing Drake. That was Drake.
Bro,
just
no,
now.
I don't know the lyrics, but when you're empty, I'll fill you up. The train comes till the sun comes.
Was that Pure Heart?
Yeah, they did a rendition of that.
Oh, that's UB40 did that as well.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. But Pure Heart did a rendition. I love that rendition, bro.
Was that Fill My Cup?
Fill My Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that's the title, yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
Something like that. Okay.
but that was one of
Good
my
one,
favorites.
good one. I like that.
What about you?
Oh man. Okay, so I'll be the first one to say this. I'm I'm telling you, man, like but how you make a goat list and not have favorites? I Hawaiian music I grew up with, I love, has a place in my heart, but I can't really think of anything modern.
Okay.
I know that there's a lot of good music that has come out recently, or in the last few years, but I don't know any of it, right?
I don't know.
If I don't listen to the radio, and most times when I listen to the radio, I'm like, oh, that's catchy, but I don't know who it is.
No.
Like,
Yeah,
most people are like, oh, you like so and so, and I'm like, I don't know who
what you're
that
talking
is.
about. Yeah.
I have no idea,
Yeah.
But I think, brother, is like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hawaii 78. And that's, I think, I don't know, when you just think of the theme song for Hawaii, I would probably have to say Hawaii 78.
Yeah.
Going back to BJ Penn, that was his walkout song.
That's a sick walkout song.
It's a sick walkout song.
Yeah.
And I want to say Max just did that with his last fight. It was Hawaii 78 as well. Pro Jam covered it. Did you ever see that video?
No. Oh, no. I seen, yeah.
Pro Jam, when they had a concert, Eddie Vedder covered it. And a lot of people are like, why did he do that? And I think people that are from Hawaii respected that he did that because he
I heard
has
about that.
a huge connection to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Almost lost his life here. Somebody saved him, and he feels a big kinship to the people of Hawaii.
That's crazy.
Which is awesome. But
yeah,
man, I really, really, it's a special song. I think most people know is because of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, because it's been utilized in so many.
It's universal.
It's
yeah,
universal.
Yeah.
You hear it in every commercial.
Yeah,
You've heard it
yeah.
in movies, and in such a unique cover of that song. But when you think of like just him singing, something really, really special, Hawaii 78, 100%.
That's up there.
Yeah.
That's up there.
Yeah.
So funny because I was thinking like, what if Jay throws out like a curveball and be like Naleo Pilimihan or something?
Kolohekai.
Kolohekai.
Nah, there's
Kali'i Rachel.
there's so many good music. And I'm not bagging on Hawaii music at all.
Yeah,
I don't really know a lot of the new stuff. you know? Yeah.
I don't know any of Forte stuff too.
I gotta go hang out in Mai Tai bar. It's been a minute. Kind of out of the loop here.
Or what's the old clubs in Restaurant Row?
Oceans. It was
Oceans.
Yeah. It's been a minute, Ray. I mean, last time you went out, bro. But...
Zanzibars, Oceans.
All right,
what we got?
Almost done here. But, grocery store.
Grocery store.
Grocery store.
Man, for myself, it's geographical, right?
Yeah.
There's this place called Navarrete in Waipahu.
What is that? Never heard of that.
Never.
Navarrete?
Navarrete, yeah. It's kind of like an old mom and pop shop.
What is that, Filipino?
I have no clue. I think it's Filipino.
Yeah.
But
is it like a specialty store or
no? It's just one of, like an old snack shop / Sorry, yeah. It wasn't a grocery store.
No, it's okay.
It was like it was a snack shop,
like a general store.
A general, yeah. It was super small.
Yeah.
There's your soda section.
Okay.
And then you go little like 3 feet further, there's like a bunch of like wrapped candy, and it was small, but it was like across the elementary school, so everyone would go in there. Would go in there.
Nice.
I'll tell you a story about my first regret in my life.
Just his first,
just the first, last. Not my last. That was the first time I stole something.
Oh, he's a dirty guy.
Yo,
what'd you take?
I one candy. I think it was like a Butterfinger or something.
And then what happened?
Bro, my Holy Spirit was like, bro, what are you doing? Don't do that.
Did you bring it back?
No. I was a kid, bro. Yeah. I wanted to know what it felt like.
Okay.
I felt so bad, Joe.
Yeah.
That first and last.
Never again.
First and last.
Hey,
yeah.
Good for you, man.
Materialistic stuff. Maybe I stole other things, but I don't know.
Stole some hearts.
But that was the first and last time that I stole something physically.
Oh, good for you.
I hated that.
You, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at a young age, yes. Yeah.
If there was anything you had to steal, candy was probably
the best lesson learner.
Yeah. I get you. I hear you.
I'll give 25 cents to whoever I need to owe. But it was. I hated the feeling, Joe.
Yeah, next time you go, you gotta be like, I'm gonna pay for 2, but I'm only gonna take 1. They'll be like, why?
But don't worry about it. It's been since demolished, and there's a house built in there now. Yeah. But man, that was one of my
good memory.
Yeah, good memory. What about you?
Core memory. This is a funny one because I don't know. It's I grew up going shopping at KTA on the Big Island, which is only on the Big Island.
Yeah, exclusive.
So when I moved to Oahu, Foodland I was at Foodland.
Oh, nah.
All day, every day, and like that's just and I say that so I think I mentioned this, but I have this weird habit where rather than buying in bulk, I'll just go buy little things every single day. Like that became my routine when I was living off of Ward.
Yeah.
I'd come home from work and then I'd stop off at the Beritania Foodland, and that was just my routine. And
Are they still there? The Beretania one?
Gone, bro.
Gone, okay.
Gone. Sad.
Yeah.
That was a spot though, and and I would literally just pick up a few things, and people probably like, this weirdo. Same people every night. Yeah, they're like, here he comes again.
I like how you said, "Oh, it's gone, bro. Sad."
Yeah,
Like, I'm sure it's super sad.
I know.
Yeah.
But all that to say, so when we moved to Mililani, like I was like, oh, cool. So Safeway's right up the street, so I go there quite often, and there is a Foodland that is not very far away. But one recent discovery was how much I actually really like Times. And
Oh, yeah.
it's super funny because
Do you have Times up here?
yeah. It's at the town center, and what's really funny is that I did not like that. Like when I first moved here, I refused to go, and I was like, "Oh, dude, that place sucks." And Tristan's like, "You don't even shop there. How do you know?"
Yeah.
I was like, "I just don't like it. I don't know why." And then for whatever reason, I was like, "Oh," I went to Safeway, and they didn't have what I needed.
Yeah.
which was like some kind of Asian component.
Sure.
And then I went to Times. I was like, "Oh, it's right there." And then I was like, "Oh man,
Sucking
these
guy.
guys looking out for the Asians, freaking Safeway." Not our people here.
Not our people. Not so
Yeah.
safe. Not so safe,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I'm gonna stop gatekeeping right now.
Yeah.
Times has good poke.
Hey, they do. Okay, so straight up, dude. Like
Straight up,
after
bro.
after that intro, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see what this is about. And now I probably go shopping there more than anywhere else. And I have to eat my words every time I come home. 'Cause
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
where'd you go? Times.
Times.
Oh, I thought you hated it there. I'm like, shut up.
But bro, I'll prefer that over Foodland.
Yeah.
The poke. It's cheaper.
It's
It's
cheaper.
cheaper.
It's good.
The only thing is if you can sacrifice a little bit of quality of the rice, you're good to go.
There you go.
You're good to go.
There you go.
Yeah. Times, check it out, bro.
Okay, this one's a quick one. Shaved ice.
Oh, this is always a topic within
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Mountain Magic.
Where's that?
Mount Pro Ridge. Pro Ridge. Waikele.
Waikele. Mountain
Waikele.
Magic.
It's one of the
Really?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
good.
Mountain Magic, bro.
What makes it good?
I'll tell you what makes it bad. That was the first time I got called uncle.
Like, there's nothing magic about this moment here. You just ruined
He
it,
was like,
guys.
"Oh, uncle, your order's ready." I was like, "That was the first time." That's when your ears probably like,
Yeah.
"Oh shoot,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
ears pop."
Oh.
The ice, there's certain ice that people use.
Yep.
They use a super fine type. And then they have additions where it's like you can use azuki beans
Yep.
or a condensed milk.
There you go.
Their portions are huge.
Yep.
Used to be Matsumoto until they expanded.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
wasn't
a
a
tourist
fan.
factory too now. Yeah,
Hey.
Dude.
You risk that. That's the one thing. If you're trying to go big, you risk the.
Good on them for expanding as a
Good on
family
them.
business.
Yeah.
But for local people that were fans, it's like
It's
that line.
You
is
lose
for
the magic,
birds, bro.
You
It's
lose
for
the magic.
birds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yep.
I hear you. You know what's funny?
Mm.
I think I don't even know if I've even been to Matsumoto's.
Mm. You're not
I
missing
know
anything.
I know it's the famous one. I
Yeah.
definitely they had a Uniqlo shirt from Matsumoto's.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that's how big they are, right?
Yeah.
But Wyola, shave ice.
Okay. Yeah. Good thing.
And,
yeah.
and again,
Solid pick.
geographic, right?
Geographic.
So,
Yes. Yeah.
living in town for the last 20 plus years, that's all I knew, right? So that was the closest thing that I could come to, and their shave ice was awesome.
You cannot go wrong with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You cannot go wrong with it. Yeah.
Did you know that? Have you heard people call it ice shave instead of shave ice?
These are the same people that call it lychee.
No,
lychee.
hey, no. This is the thing. So the reason why I say no. So ice shave is actually a Big Island thing.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. So people go say I shave all the time, and then when you come here and you say that,
Hey,
people are like,
hold on.
"Bro, what are you talking?"
Can't wait. Logically and grammatically,
Yeah,
does that make sense?
it
though?
doesn't.
Yeah.
and that's one of
That's
the,
the-
that is
that's
that
the-
is one
that's
that is
the
one of the
one we-
unique Big Island vernaculars. There, it's ice shave. It's
They-
not shaved ice.
Hey,
but
good to know. And I didn't know that. Yeah.
yeah. That's like, I mean, I don't know. It's like trash can versus rubbish can. You know what I mean? Like it's just different.
I don't know. It would be can rubbish.
Okay. Point taken.
Next time I'm hanging out with a Big Island dude, though,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be like,
Oh, you like
"Hey,
some
let's
ice
grab I shave." Yeah, he'll be like, "Oh, what?" Yeah,
Get all excited. huh?
Good call. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Let's go Mountain Magic.
Mountain-
Uncle stay.
Yo, next time you guys are craving and you guys are Waikele,
Okay.
yeah, hit them up.
right.
They're good. Yeah.
All right. Last question. Wrapping it up. Goat movie based in Hawaii.
50 First Dates, probably.
Hey, that was a quick answer,
50
man.
First Dates.
Talk about it.
Yeah, man. I don't. Where was that? Big Island or Kauai?
No, that was here. That was
Oh, that was
Oahu.
over here?
That was Oahu.
Oh, snap.
Sea Life Park.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Most of it was filmed out on that side.
Oh, solid. Yeah. That one. I mean, that's the first. Second one is Hawaii based.
So you can look at it like movies filmed in Hawaii versus movies based in Hawaii. So like where Hawaii is part of the movie, if that makes sense, right?
Gotcha. I think 51st just comes up because of what's his name? Rob Schneider's character.
Rob,
yeah.
best.
I feel like that was the most evident effort for someone acting as a local. that made sense, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it was a caricature, but I look at it like Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
Where people from Hawaii embraced it and saw the humor.
Yeah.
In that he was not making fun of us. We were part of the joke, not the joke itself. Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I found it funny. I think most people found that funny.
Oh
but,
yeah.
But
but that's my
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay. So shoot, man, there's so many movies that are filmed here, but when you talk about movies that are about Hawaii, you ever heard of North Shore?
Yeah, I heard that's a cult classic.
It is a cult classic. It is, I want to say mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's a cult classic is it was literally filmed on the North Shore. There's so many local people that are in that movie that are not just extras but actually play pretty big roles. Like Sonny Garcia was a big part of that movie. But you know what tends to happen in a lot of these movies, unfortunately, is because it's attached to Hollywood. You just have the white savior complex, right? Like Holly guy got to come in and steal the local
girl.
chick.
yeah.
And you know the local girl in this movie actually wasn't even from Hawaii too.
Fucking guys.
But you know that just tends to happen. So my pick is actually an interesting one. It's The Descendants from George Clooney, starring George Clooney.
Descendants.
Have you not watched this movie?
No.
It's really good. Alex Payne, he did the movie. He directed it, and it was, I don't want to call it an independent film. It was a smaller film attached to a large name actor, right? So obviously Clooney's the A-lister, right? But without going over the entire synopsis, he is a resident of Hawaii, him and his family, and they're just Howley to the bone, but they're born and raised in Hawaii. Okay?
Yeah.
And what it is just based off of his lineage, his family, they are the wards of a certain plot of land on Kauai. Okay. And then it was just a matter of, do they release this back to the state, or do they continue to do they continue to lease the land because of their lineage, from what I understand, or do they sell it to a private or company that was going to basically turn it into a development?
That's heavy.
And it was heavy because it was just talking about a lot of cultural things, and people can argue like George Clooney's not even from Hawaii, he's not Hawaiian by any means, but they addressed that in the movie. And what was interesting was his character basically said like, hey, we're Howley as shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have zero connection, but just somehow our family's married into Hawaii bloodline back in the day. And we have this honor and privilege of basically having this land,
stewarding this land,
and we need to be responsible with it. So
that's amazing.
It's super interesting. He's not trying to be Hawaiian in this movie. If anything, he just reminds you of somebody who works at Bank of Hawaii. Aloha shirt, slacks, and slippers. You know what I mean? But it's filmed. A lot of it's filmed in like Manoa and whatnot.
Wow.
And it's so well shot. It makes Hawaii look beautiful. It's a good story, and again, even though it is mainland actors, I think the way that they addressed that was really realistic, because you're talking about people that again have just by chance, just their lineage just are tied to land. And how do you accept that responsibility, and how do you continue a tradition versus just selling it to the highest bidder? So that's a recommendation. It's called The Descendants. It's a really good movie.
That's a really good title for it too. Descendants.
That's my choice, man.
Solid.
Hey,
Yeah.
brother. These lists are fun, man.
That was fun. Yeah.
I always have a good time with the GOAT list because
Yeah.
I think obviously we got some takes that are everybody's takes, and some are probably out of left field, and people are like, "What? What are you guys talking about here?"
Yeah.
I shave. What is that? But yeah, man, always pleasure. And again, thank you again for recording today, man.
Yeah,
Means a
awesome,
lot.
bro. Yeah, thanks for being available.
Hey.
Yeah, this is fun.
Anytime, brother. Next
Yeah.
time.
Shoes, guys.
Peace.
Peace.